Sonic and Knuckles is a phrase we all have become very familiar to in the NFL space, as we've seen Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery take over the league the past 3 years. And we had something very similar in college this year. Obviously, we had Jadarian Price and Jeremiah Love that we already talked about this year. But they weren't really a Sonic and Knuckles. They were just a very good running back duo who complemented each other pretty well, where this Penn State backfield truly was the definition of Sonic and Knuckles, very similar to the kin of Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, because Kaytron Allen is a power back, and Nick Singleton has some blazing speeds that we will get into all in today's video, as we are breaking down the Penn State backfield in its whole and taking 3 games from each of these 2 players and comparing them of which one is going to be the better NFL running back, or just who's higher on my prospect board. I was blessed enough to be able to get a Penn State hoodie for this video, so I'm pretty hype about that. But let's waste no time and hop straight into the stats and breakdown of these 2 players. So as I said before, the speedster Nick Singleton is 6 foot, 224 pounds, and is 22 years old, while Kaytron Allen is a year older at 23. And he's 5'11", 217 pounds. Now, Kaytron Allen put up the better stats this year. This year specifically, we're going to be going over both the past 2 years because last year they had the college playoff run, and I feel like it'd be a disservice to not add that in here. But Kaytron Allen had a crazy year this year. All-time leading rusher at Penn State, 1,300 yards, 15 touchdowns. He only caught the ball 18 times for 68 yards and 0 touchdowns, but a great rusher nonetheless. While Singleton, 12 games, 549 yards, 13 touchdowns, 24 receptions for 219 receiving yards, and 1 touchdown. Now we go back to last year. Nick Singleton was hurt during last year. He was banged up for about 3 games. He missed 1 game. So again, he had 3 games of only like 6 attempts. So I kind of want to take that with a grain of salt, but he had 15 games played, 1,099 yards, 12 touchdowns, 6.4 yards per carry, 41 receptions for 375 receiving yards and 5 receiving touchdowns, while Kaytron played 16 games, had 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns, a 5 yards per carry average, 18 receptions for 153 receiving yards, with 2 touchdowns. Now, the blocking grades for these 2 teams for 2025 for Penn State was 18th in the entire country, while in 2024, it was 34th. So, again, one of the best teams in the country. You expect them to have a pretty decent line up front. The competition for this year, they only played 12 games compared to the 16 games last year, The 2025 competition was honestly better than the 2024 competition, despite the team falling apart and actually losing its mind by the end of it. Oregon, top 30 team in the country in rushing grade. Ohio State, top 2 in the country in rushing grade. Indiana, top 5. They played a lot of really good comp here this year, outside of the cupcakes in the beginning, for a pretty good schedule. In 2024, a little bit of the same, but UCLA wasn't that good. USC wasn't that good. Wisconsin fell off. Purdue was 109th, but they did play Ohio State, and obviously Minnesota was top 30 in the country. Oregon was top 40. SMU was top 10, and Notre Dame, to finish off their season, was 23rd in the country in rushing grade. So they had pretty good competition all around. And as of consensus is right now, if you're looking at almost anybody in the space's consensus rankings, almost all of them have Kaytron Allen above Nick Singleton. So I'm excited to see in this breakdown if it changes my mind. Last year we did a video, Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins going head-to-head, and at the time the consensus was Travion Henderson was ahead of Quinshon Judkins, and that stayed all the way true up to the draft, but I had Quinshon Judkins over Travion Henderson. So I'm excited to see how that all unfolds today, if I still believe, like consensus does, that Kaytron's better, or if Nick Singleton's going to emerge as my favorite. So let's waste no time and hop straight into the film. We have 3 games for each of them. Some of the games will overlap here. As we see, we have Boise State. We'll go over Boise State for each of them, but I did pick different games because, again, Nick Singleton's injury last year and how the offense broke down this year, I wanted to make sure we got good games from both sample sizes. So we have Indiana, we have Ohio State, we have Oregon, we have all these games going back and forth, so we're going to break down all of them here today. It's going to be a little bit faster paced because we have 2 bags to do instead of 1. And again, I don't want this video to be an hour long and be taking up too much of your guys' time. So here's a run by Kaytron Allen to start us off. This actually is Nick Singleton's film, supposed to be, but Kaytron's still in this for sure, obviously, because Nick Singleton is lead blocker here. They're in a split set from the backfield. There's going to be an outside hitting play, and Kaytron is a very technically sound runner and a refined runner, if that makes any sense. Obviously, this run doesn't really show much, but he's a refined runner in the sense of he knows where the hole is. He's very good at finding the hole. His vision's very good. His footwork is very sound. His technique is very sound. But again, he's not the athlete that Nick Singleton is, and we'll see that in the film. Here's Nick Singleton straight up the middle on an inside zone, out of a pistol set. Now, again, how do you know it's the difference between an inside zone or a duo or a power gap scheme? When everyone is flowing, this is like the simple, this is like the very dumbed down version, but when everyone's flowing to the same side as the running back is going to, typically means it's inside zone. So we're getting an inside zone here, right? Nick Singleton's going to put his foot in the ground. And again, one thing about both of these Penn State running backs, none of them, or neither of them, really take a lot of pitter-patter steps. They're not indecisive backs. They are very decisive with what they want to do. Nick Singleton wants to get to his explosion as fast as possible. That's his strength. Where Kaytron Allen wants to get lowering his shoulder as fast as possible. We'll see that in the film, but Nick Singleton explodes through the hole there. Gets wrapped up a little bit high, but for the most part, pretty good run. But you can see even here, like his burst is nuts. It might be, he might run the fastest 40 in this class, unless we have someone that I'm not completely sure of, but he's going to be a 4.3 guy, I think, for sure. He is insane speed. So that burst right there, as you can see through the hole, one step and boom, he's gaining an extra 5 yards there. Love to see that out of Nick Singleton. Here's a great Kaytron Allen play we're going to see here, right? So obviously Kaytron's in the backfield right here in a pistol set. We're going to be attacking this outside here. What is this? Is an outside zone. Again, what is everyone doing? Flowing down, okay? So it's going to be an outside zone play, and we're going to be trying, your goal is really to hit the inside of the tight end. And look exactly what happens. Kaytron finds the hole. He's patient enough and explodes through. Now, again, he doesn't have any super breakaway speed, but he's pretty good in space, and he can make some stuff happen, and he will definitely drag some defenders. His contact balance is nuts. But look at how skinny he gets when he's getting through this hole, right? That happens in a split second. He's maybe an inch away from tripping over the leg of Tyler Warren here. I mean, this is just textbook stuff by a running back on outside zone. As soon as he sees him tear off, he knows exactly what hole he's in. Like, that is literally as flawless as you can get. I say this in almost every video, and I'm going to say it here again. Shaving off the asses of your tight ends, your tackles, your guards. This is what NFL running backs do. They find holes that are this small, and they don't just get run out of bounds or get pushed out of bounds or try to make a play. Like, they find the holes that look like this to explode through and get a big, big chunk play by Kaytron Allen. That's a great, great play to see right there. Here's another one by Kaytron. Same play, other side. Let's run it. Hole ends up being, as you could fit the Titanic through this thing. Let's keep it rolling. Ends up shaking a tackle there, trying to get it down by the ankles. He gets up wrapped behind, but overall, pretty solid play. And one thing about Kaytron, right? He's smaller. He's 217 pounds, and Nick Singleton's 224 pounds. Again, we'll see combine weights. We'll see exactly what it is, but I would assume Nick Singleton's probably going to weigh in around the 220, 225. Kaytron's going to be around 215. But the difference between them, I think Nick Singleton's more like built up top, where Kaytron is pretty much all lower legs. Like, you look at his lower body, and he's the knuckles of the two. I mean, his quads are, I'm sorry I'm analyzing a dude's ass and quads, but massive. Like, it's hard to tackle a dude with this big of legs. And obviously you can see like like little ankle tackles and try to get wraps around the knees, like, aren't going to bring Kaytron down right away. He's a downhill runner. He's going to get downhill, and there's not much you can stop him unless you do great form tackling. So that's something just to know. So what we're doing here on this pistol play, right? We're in a power right formation, right? We're going to have Tyler Warren go in the flat. We're going to be an RPO inside zone right here. So it's going to be a quick inside zone read. Again, everyone's flowing down. It's not power. We don't have any pulling guards or anything. It's just a simple inside zone with a read option on the backside to hold these backside defenders if Drew Lar were to keep it, or we're going to pass out real quick to Tyler Warren. But we're going to give it to Nick Singleton, where right here, looks like we have absolutely nothing. He ends up finding a tiny hole, breaks a few tackles, ends up gaining 10 yards. This is the Penn State running backs. Again, Penn State also produces fantastic running backs. We know this for a long time now, and obviously Saquon Barkley is the cream of the crop of that. But this is the stuff that you see with the Penn State running backs that you love. They just know when to put their heads down and go through the middle of the field instead of trying to bounce shit outside. You will not see many clips, even with Nick Singleton, unless it's like his early years. Freshman year, he did it bad, but since then, he's been really good about it. He doesn't try to really bounce shit. Like, he just puts his nose to the grind zone and tries to fit through holes. And if he gets through it, he gets through it. If he doesn't, he doesn't. He'll take the 3 yards. Kaytron Allen does the same thing. They don't really go east and west very often. It is north and south running, which you'll love to see. He's going to shake off the D tackle, get off me, and we're going to gain some 10 yards here. And again, he's a 6 foot, 225-pound back, so he is a bigger back here. Okay, here's the same play we just went over, but it's going now to the other side. As you can see, we're in a power left here with the fullback. It's going to be literally the same exact play. Release, block, read option. Okay, it's going to be a handoff. Nick Singleton's going to see that hole, explode through it right away. Great tackle by 23. I mean, there's really nothing Nick could have done here different. He's going to lower his shoulder. Maybe he could have tried to make a move, but with being 225 pounds, again, really big legs, I don't mind him lowering his shoulder and him. Just a great overall form tackle. Can't hate on that. Here's another play by Nick. I mean, there's not much to really see here, but I want to talk about this because I saw it on. I always like to look through other people's notes of like what they have to say about some backs. And normally it's after I watch the film initially because I already have my own opinions by then. And I saw a few different creators and people that like are going over some of this stuff. Like, I don't know what their thought process is sometimes because they like see the play like this and they get upset he doesn't try to be more creative is like their words of it is they want the back to be they said more creative when nothing is there. And I don't think I disagree with the take more. Not saying that Nick Singleton did anything flashy or exciting here. He just did what is expected of a running back, get back to the line of scrimmage. I think sometimes we get caught up in the flash and we want to see 14 juke moves here to try to get out of it. And sometimes that works. Sometimes it doesn't. Maybe I'm just old-fashioned in my thinking. I said it last week with the Jadarian Price of what I loved about him. Is I just like that they put their head down and get back to the line of scrimmage if nothing's there. Get back to 1 yard. Get the 2 yards. Get positive yards. I don't understand why you would ever knock a running back for being not creative with the ball. And they said it both about Nick and Kaytron. They probably said about Jadarian, but I didn't look at him. But like, I feel like on a play like this, like that's all you can do. Like, why would you want them to juke back and forth 500 times? I don't understand. I'm very fine with them leaning forward and just taking what they can out of that. Here we go. Here's an explosive play. Wish he could stay on his feet, but this is what you get out of Nick Singleton, right? He runs pretty wide, which is good for a back of his size. Good outside zone blocking. He's going to be able to get to that outside. Dude, if he would have broken this, the next gear, he might have taken it all the way. And I know we haven't seen that next gear yet, but when I show you, I mean, he might have taken it all the way. But overall, solid run. Wish he would have stayed on his feet with the contact bounce. He doesn't have the best contact bounce. Like, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. I think it's like pretty average, maybe a little bit above average. He does fall down a little bit too easy sometimes. But I think that's also because he's so focused on getting into like track mode that sometimes he kind of just overdoes it. And I know you guys want to see the speed, so let's show the speed. Here's a GT counter play. So again, what that means is guard and tackle are pulling. So this means this guard, right, and this tackle are sealing on a counter play where the left side of the line is blocking down to the right. These two counter back to the opposite side. Very common play in the Penn State offense. And we're going to see Nick Singleton make one good cut, and no one's going to catch him. Like, no one's even going to come really close. Not that there really was anyone close. He made 2 people miss, and it's off to the races for him. But again, there's no pitter-patter back here, right, which is so nice. I mean, his cut, boom. It's just right there, and he's a track star. He's gone. He's gone. Like, you're not catching him, dude. He's so fucking fast. Like, he's going to run probably 4.3. Again, there's no pitter-patter here, no indecisiveness of which way to go. He just follows his blocks, breaks one, and he's gone. Right? You love to see that out of him. Let's go to Kaytron now. Here's Kaytron, same game. Obviously, we looked at that first play by him. We looked at the second play by him. Here's a good example of the difference between Kaytron and Nick Singleton or maybe some other backs is Nick probably tries to fit this outside. Probably tries. Might not get there. Kaytron's just going to put his head to the grindstone and keep pushing. He's a back that just wants to get north and south and keep his legs churning. Like, even when he's falling down here, his legs, like, watch right in here. His legs literally never stop moving, which is nuts. He's a high motor power back. And I mean, even right here is a fantastic cut. Fantastic cut. Again, there's nothing really here getting washed down. He literally hurdles a man that's on the ground and gets forward for an extra 5 or 6 yards when nothing is there. Loved to see that by Kaytron. Here again, the example of a true power back. If he gets into a power scheme of what the Rams have been doing recently. Like, obviously, that's not what he's going to get into because the Rams have Kyron Williams. But if he gets into a gap scheme system like that, and you can just put him in a single back set and have him run downhill, he can definitely be a very serviceable back. Because, like, look at a plays like this. Gets hit at the line of scrimmage, and then just keeps dragging them forward for 4 yards. Literally has look how big these men are. Like, this man is huge. He's going to literally carry him on his back for 3 yards. Put him on your back, big man, and keep, like, dude, that's nuts. I get it's a 3-yard run, but when you're looking, like, that is insane. He's literally carrying a 300-pound man on his back for an extra 3 yards because his legs don't stop. Love to see that. Again, his patience and vision are really good. The other thing is really good is these two backs, and we'll see later with Nick, their skate technique is fantastic. And behind line of scrimmage, their patience / decisiveness is fantastic. You love to see it. Again, that's just like the Penn State running back thing. Normally that is the case, and why a lot of them get drafted. Here's a little bit of agility out of the kid. A little bit of a quick spin move, way to get in space, stay up. Pretty good contact balance by Kaytron. Again, he's an old runner, polished runner. And, like, look at this, dude. Oh, my God. Again, no real burners on him. Like, he doesn't have long speed. His burst is, like, okay at best. As an overall athlete, he's, like from a speed perspective of the running back, he's, like, average. But his power, his decisiveness, his footwork, the little polished things make him an exciting prospect to me. And he can just, like, sit you. Like, that is like David Montgomery against the Seahawks when he did this to Devon Witherspoon. I think it was last season or 2 years ago. Or it's just you're running in open space. You don't want to tackle that man. As a DB, you just don't want to tackle that man. And he's coming in full speed. Again, he's not going to break away from anybody, but he is going to get you a good chunk of yards. You'll love to see that. Here's another run by him. Contact balance is great. He's going to continue to fall forward. His legs do not stop. Here's another one. Okay, we're in a 4th and 1 situation here, right? Obviously, they're thinking QB sneak. They're thinking up the middle, whatever. It's supposed to go right up the gut to Kaytron. What does he do? Sees it, bounces outside. Doesn't have burner speed, which I would love. Like, if this is Nick Singleton, it's to that. Like, you're not catching him. If it's the Jeremiah Loves of the world, if it's whoever has real burners in this, like, it's to the house. Obviously, he doesn't. Still a great play, again, by the little things, nonetheless, by Kaytron. He could be a great compliment back in a good backfield. Great compliment back. All right, now we have this year, Kaytron Allen versus Oregon. Let's get straight into it. This game was a disaster for the running backs. But when there's nothing going on the offensive line, when there's nothing going in the run game, what can you do? How do you look? That's the question that we got to figure out. Because a lot of times in the NFL, you might not have a good day running the football. You might not. You might be drafted to the Raiders and have to figure it out. What can you do? Kaytron, I mean, there's like nothing there. Just puts his head down. Here's an outside pitch play against a pin pull. Right, so it's supposed to be the lineman's supposed to get out here, and they're supposed to pin down, but really couldn't find it there. A little bit of indecision by Kaytron. You don't really see it very often, but a little bit of indecision here. I wish he would have just shaved the ass, but I guess he saw Tu's head on this side. Again, when you see the DB's head on one side, you normally want to go on the opposite. Try to get outside, just didn't really get anything going there. So much Wildcat out of Penn State, dude. It actually is one of the most mind-boggling things that they did so much of in the James Franklin era is they just loved Wildcat. I'm not a fan. I would say the one knock on Kaytron and his game truly is like, this is a catch right here. This is one of 18 catches he has in both seasons. Like, these are like all of his catches pretty much. Swing routes, quick stops. Like, he has no real receiving game. So again, that's why when I say like Kaytron's a true compliment back, I mean it. I mean, he's going to be, I don't love comps, but if I were to comp Kaytron Allen, it would be Lions, like 2022 David Montgomery, where he comes over and you know he's not really the one anymore, but he's a polished back that can really help out and take a big workload. That's what I kind of feel like Kaytron Allen will be. He needs a compliment back with him that can do the receiving work. Like, a great example would be like if you paired him with like almost like a 2019 like Jerick McKinnon style of guys or something like that, where they can catch the ball out of the backfield or something like that of that sense, where you have a good receiving and speed back paired with Kaytron. It could really make for a good duo, which is why Penn State had a good running game the past 2 years. But I mean, he's a polished back, but he's not as versatile of an athlete as you'd want to be a true RB1, right? I mean, that's also the knockout with a lot of running backs in this class. Like, they're just good, really good college backs, but are they going to be great NFL backs? They have some holes. Kaytron being used as power back, dude, his leg power and his leg drive, he gets hit behind the line of scrimmage here. A yard behind. And he just drives him forward for a yard and a half. Here you go. Here's a run by Kaytron. Outside zone play once again. Great cutback by him. I wish he would have made two. Right, see the wide view. See why he didn't. Like, I really wish he would have cut here and then cut here again and taken on this DB. Puts his head down. Drags a guy for a few yards. We'll take it at the end of the day. Again, sometimes I feel like he just doesn't trust his own speed because, I mean, he just doesn't have much. But look at this is what I'm talking about with the contact balance thing. Like, his leg drive, his contact balance is nutty. If he was just a faster back or maybe lost a little bit of weight or something, like, he truly could be fantastic. But there is some core problems with his game. But stuff like this is awesome, dude. Like, it's just so hard to get him on the ground. Here you go. Here's a catch by Kaytron. Hey, we got space, kid. Let's work. Okay. Immediately slow down. That's something that, like, we just can't be doing that, right? I understand someone's flying to the ball to you here. Just use the speed you have and get to the sideline, big man. As you can see, it's 1st and 10. Get to the sideline. Sid cuts it back. Gains like 5 yards. I think he could have got at least like 6 or 7 if he didn't do that. But let's end this with one of his touchdown runs. Again, bounce outside, clear as day, power back. He's going to find the end zone here. Just a great overall power play by Penn State here to call it. Same game, drastically different backs, right? Same game, drastically different running backs here. So what can Nick Singleton do that Kaytron really doesn't? Be heavily involved in the pass game. This guy's hands are fantastic. Like, he is a very, very good receiving back. The only person covering him is the ref right now. So we're going to get it down to him. Let him get a few yards. Dragging the pile again. Both of these backs have great leg drive. Pretty good explosion. I mean, just overall powering through this Oregon defense. Here we go. Singleton up the middle. What can he do? Drive forward. Get me 3 or 4 yards. Love to see that. Right? Just use that extra kick, man. This is what I'm talking about. Like, watch this play. Just watch this play. Look at this play. Right? Nick Singleton's an option route here. There's nothing here. Nick Singleton spins in space. Look at this catch. Behind him, while a DB's on him, he brings it in. Not many running backs are doing this against a good Oregon secondary, right? Like, that ball is very well behind his body. Adjusts to it perfectly. Has someone coming straight for the ball as he's catching it. Strong hands, holds on. As a running back, 225 running back. I mean, that's good stuff. They also use him a lot as like a wide receiver in this offense. We haven't seen it like yet, really. At least I haven't highlighted it yet. Here's an example, right? Here's Nick Singleton literally. Oh, well, this isn't a play, but it's a good 1 yard carry for 4th and 1. Here's him. Literally wind up as a wide receiver. Literally lined up as a wide receiver. Obviously, they're blocking on this play, but he's utilized all the time as a wideout. Here we go, a little speed pitch play. Let's get him outside, get some space. Overall, I don't hate the play design. I kind of like it. Put him out as a wideout. Use him over here on a speed pitch. Absolutely clocks his kneecap. But overall, good play design and ends up getting a few. Here we go. Let's get Nick Singleton on another pitch. Let's get him outside. Absolutely whiffed. Number 16. Jesus. Just, if you box him up here, right? And we block him down, it's a one-on-one. Literally a one-on-one. Ends up being a one-on-2. 103 is coming into the picture. Oh, man. That's like the stuff like they just got to get better. Just can't have that happen. All right, so now we have 2 individual games against top defenses for this team. Again, this is 2025 Indiana for Nick Singleton. So let's go over him, and then we're going to go over Kaytron one more time real quick to end this off. Hopefully this has been enough for you guys. If not, we can do more later on them. But again, Nick Singleton, again, lining up as another outside receiver here. We love to see that. Again, he's just being able to be utilized almost anywhere. Again, this is not with Drew. So it's a little bit different of a quarterback situation, different scheme, but they still played Indiana really hard. Again, this is the team that went undefeated and won the national championship. And holy shit, they just blew that the hell up. Again, it's a way to see the hole, but the hole collapses in a millisecond. Again, pistol, strong right. Same thing we've seen a lot of, right? And he's going to hit that inside zone to see that back play. Again, we go over the inside zone every single time. If it's an inside zone. Oh, it's actually a duo. I lied. What's the difference between a duo and an inside zone, right? We're going to be doubling here on both tackles. He's going to kick out here, right? This is going to be a duo, not an inside zone. He's going to see this back right here, but it's still, same rules apply for duo. Bang, bounce, back. Going to have the back here all day. Gets through. Almost breaks the tackle, but doesn't quite. Holds on for his life on that ankle. Not able to get through. So let's just bang it through this time. Inside zone. Can't quite find it. Found the right hole, but couldn't quite get in. Third time's a charm. Get a little leg drive in here. We're in. Pretty easy walking. Nothing really too crazy. Like, there's not, like, here's the thing with these two backs is, like, like you watch the film, that's a great move. Great move in open space. Again, he had 41 catches 2 years ago, not last year. But 2 years ago, he got 41 catches, was heavily involved in the pass game. Again, their pass game was also more limited. Again, with no Drew, their pass game completely changes, right? But I still think he's a very, very good pass catching back. I think he'll be utilized as that at the next level too. Just the wrong read. The wrong, you see him crashing down right here. It's a keep read. He's literally at the running back. Okay. I'm not. Here you go. Here's again with the contact balance thing with him. Again, great outside zone play. Able to get to the next level. If he can just shake that. Oh, man. If he can shake that, it's another big play there for him. Obviously, just gets ankle tackled. We would love to see him go to the next level. But again, his contact balance is average. I mean, it's nothing really too crazy here. He does break some tackles and then make some pretty big gains out of it, but sometimes he can just get them, and that stinks. But here's an overall great play. And again, like I said before, Nick Singleton with crazy explosion. Gets wrapped up at the end there. Great pursuit angle, or great pursuit by, I think it was number 7 or number 5. But here again, there's no choppy feet by Nick Singleton. Kaytron's the same way. The choppy feet goes away, right? Just patient. Look at how his hips are. We talked about this before. How should your hips be to the line of scrimmage as a running back? Always be exactly like the lines on the field. Straight across. And he does that so he can see forward, and he's off. Yo, I want to point this out, though. Shout out the ref right here. Look at this. Look at this. Boink. If the ref's not there, he probably gets like tackled here or tripped up or at least has to shake somebody. That's insane that the ref does that. But again, crazy explosion by him. If he doesn't cut back in, I think if he keeps cutting out and 22 can't get to him, I think he scores. But he tries to cut it like he does like a bowing back like that. Kind of like this, which I think ends up killing his angle there because 5 was closer to him than 22 was. So I don't know why he didn't just keep going that way, but it is what it is. Either way, here we go. Nick Singleton out of the backfield, right? A little flat to the opposite side. 1 cut, 2 cuts, and you're not getting them. That's going to be another touchdown for Nick Singleton against, again, the best team in the entire country. 1 cut there with a little help from a block in the back. Good cut back here. Again, it's not a flashy cutter. His agility isn't next level at all. Again, it's pretty average, I would say. Maybe a little bit above average, but like probably average at best. His agility side to side isn't the greatest. But he is able to make plays happen. Better than Kaytron, at least, I would say, in that sense, from the agility standpoint. Just a more explosive back in that sort of a sense. He's going to be utilized as that outside runner, that home run ball runner, where Kaytron's just simply not. All right, last game. Let's go to Kaytron for the very last game here. It's against Ohio State. Again, another top team in the country. Let's watch. Let's watch Kaytron on a pitch play. First play, get him outside, get him moving, get him up the field. Again, no breakaway, but great speed over there to at least get through. Again, this is this year. Kaytron Allen. Here's, again, another example of good feet. Neither of their feet pitter-patter. We've seen this correction 100 times, and it's one of the things that bothers me the most. When backs will just sit there and pitter-patter in the backfield for 15 seconds. Or just like be indecisive of which way to go, and then it all closes. Where it's like they might not get a ton of yards, but they go forward for a few and decide. And they're decisive. and their feet are quick, right? Here's another outside. Like the cutback there. Love the cutback there, right? It's not for a ton, but these are the little things, right, that you can cut back for a few yards and get that little extra yardage just by seeing it, right? Some running backs here just kind of collapse, or some running backs here when they see this hole just kind of collapse and go with the flow, and they'll just flow down. Kaytron sees it last second, cuts it back, and we gain 5 or 6. That's what you love to see. Here we go, Kaytron. Again, same play as earlier. That first one that got us a big run. Able to make a little sliver there. Love that. Just some whiffs by these high. Like, what are we doing? Here we go, Kaytron. Get to that outside here, big fella. What, did you slip? What the hell happened? Yeah, just like zero balance and just dives forward. I mean, fair enough. Here's a great play by Kaytron. We'll rewind it. Sorry. Here you go. Inside dough to that right side, but we're going to cut this back here, big fella. Cut it back. We're going to gain some big yards out of it. Put your head down. Get busy. Oos. Again, inside zone. What can we do? Bang, bounce, or back. And look at how his hips are. Right? When he's approaching this line, this is the technique we talk about, right? When he's approaching the line, look at his path. It's going to be right to the center's ass. That way he can decide which way to go pretty much right away. See that? See that? See how that works? Look at his path. Look at his path. He can see everything pretty much right in front of him now. Boom. Cuts it back. He sees it. He's through. That's exactly what we're looking for. It's exactly what we're looking for. Here you go. Pitch play to Kaytron. Gets to the 1 yard line. Overall way to squeeze through there. Put his head down. He's not afraid of anyone. Not afraid of any contact. Great play here. Great cuts here. I wish he ran a little bit lower too. He runs a little bit high. I kind of wish I was a little bit low of a runner. Like, look how high he is right here. He's so high up. I wish he was a little bit like more of a forward lean guy. Like, we watched Jadarian, and Jadarian was so good because he had such a good forward lean. Again, he makes a good cut here. He's really high up, though, and gets tackled, but overall, great run. So as you can see on the screen here, you have the overall breakdowns of these players. I don't know if I officially have the graphics up yet, but I'll probably have all the old players paired with them as well for just how you can see they pair out. I still have Jadarian Price over either of these guys, so they're not my RB2 just yet. But comparing them two as wholes, I do have Nick Singleton a little bit over Kaytron Allen, and here's why. I think the summarized version of this, you can see all the ratings I have on the screen and how I have them graded. I'm not going to talk through everyone because I don't want to, again, make this video too long, but the overall summary of this is I think Kaytron is a polished back. I think he's you can tell he's older. You can tell he's played an extra year in college. His footwork's cleaned up. His vision's very good. His patience is very solid. He has great contacts balance with his big lower body. I think he was a little bit high running, but obviously that can be fixed at the next level for the most part. Both of these guys are very solid pass blockers. The pass blocking isn't really a big issue for either of them either. I think what holds Kaytron Allen back is truly just like the little bit of athleticism piece. Like, he's not that good of a receiver. He doesn't have some crazy long speed. He doesn't have an elite burst. Like, he doesn't have some of the key things that make RB1s at the next level. I think he could be a great complement at the next level, where Nick Singleton has more potential, has a lower floor, I think, than Kaytron, but a much higher ceiling than Kaytron, to where he's a great receiving back, so he'll be utilized in the receiving game. He has very, very, very good, almost teetering on elite burst and speed. Like, he's going to probably run a 4.3 at 220 pounds, 224 pounds. Like, that's going to get some eyeballs when the combine rolls around. And even if he runs a 4.4, he still has blazing speed for a guy that size. His vision, his patience, that, again, those refinery things aren't quite there as much as Kaytron Allen is. And again, to me, you guys know how much I value the vision and the footwork type of things. I think his footwork is fine. I think his vision is where he lacks, and his patience. But I think you get him into a gap scheme, it makes things a lot different. And with the good footwork and a gap scheme, that helps aid that. If he gets into a zone heavy scheme, I'm a little bit concerned about Nick. But again, that's going to be more a landing spot thing. We'll go over that as soon as the landing spots come out and when the draft happens. But for now, as a raw prospect, I think he's a ton of potential. As a player, again, they're not very far off. 6.95 compared to 6.7. Not the biggest difference in the world. I still do have Jadarian Price over them right now. The way it's broken down, I have Jadarian as my RB2. Jeremiah Love is obviously RB1. Then I have Jadarian, Nick Singleton, Kaytron Allen, Jonah Coleman, and then last I have Emmett Johnson. But all these guys kind of are in similar tiers of they all can be good in their own respects. I think a lot of them need scheme to really perform better. But if I had to rank them right now, that's how I would do that. If you guys have any questions, comments, or you have any feedback on the video, what you guys see, what you guys think is different, make sure to leave it in the comments below. I always appreciate you guys dropping some stuff down there, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.